The Ultimate Fighting Championship has just taken things to the next level. After years of being a dominant force in the light heavyweight division, Jon Jones has made a surprising announcement that he's returning to the octagon. But this time around, he'll be competing as a heavyweight fighter. This news has stunned the entire combat sports community and has everyone eager to show how Jones will perform against the top fighters in the heavyweight division. The question on everyone's mind is what the other fighters will think of Jones' return to the UFC. The excitement is palpable, and it's time to get some answers. Jon Jones' return to the UFC is official, and the fight world has created a buzz. The news was leaked early due to a mistake by officials, and Jon Wanzover confirmed it on social media after speaking with Jones. Jones confirmed an upcoming heavyweight title fight with Ciryl Gane and plans to have Henry Cejudo in his corner if their schedule allows. The fight is expected to be at UFC 285. Jones, who is 33 years old, is finally returning to the UFC 285 event on March 4 to compete for the heavyweight title. He will be facing Ciryl Gane in this highly anticipated match. The bout was originally scheduled to be between Jones and Francis Ngannou. However, Ngannou was not able to reach a satisfactory agreement with the UFC and decided to leave the organization after spending 7 years with them. As a result, the heavyweight title was vacated, paving the way for Jones' return and a chance for him to compete for the title. In Jones' recent fights at the light heavyweight division, he did not perform as expected, being taken to the full duration of the match by Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos. This has raised concerns among fans that Jones' abilities have declined over the years, considering he had previously dominated in his division for almost a decade. However, former UFC lightweight Paul Felder believes that Jones will bring new energy to his move to the heavyweight division. Felder stated in an interview, The Fighter versus the Writer, that Jones will be looking to make a strong comeback and prove himself once again. Despite any personal controversies, Felder recognizes Jones as one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest fighter, in the history of the sport. Ciryl Gane, the upcoming UFC fighter, recently shared his thoughts about the much-anticipated fight against Jon Jones at UFC 285. He expressed his excitement about being the first fighter in his division to fight Jones and acknowledged Jones' great athletic abilities and well-rounded skills. However, Gane stated that he doesn't believe Jones will be trying to prove anything, but rather wants to win the fight against him. Gane refutes the notion that his wrestling game is weak, citing that the focus for his fight against Francis was not solely on wrestling. He believes that their fight may involve both standing and ground combat, with Jones trying to take him down at some point. Daniel Cormier, a former UFC fighter, thinks that Jon Jones will do well in the heavyweight division. He stated that Jones is a talented fighter and will make the division more exciting and lively once he makes the leap into the heavyweight division. Cormier mentioned that the potential matchups with other heavyweight fighters like Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blaydes, and Ciryl Gane would result in some big-time fights. However, Cormier also acknowledged the challenges that Jones might face, especially against some dangerous heavyweights like Pavlovich, who has recently shown his strength against Tia Tuivasa. He also mentioned that Jones has struggled at times against bigger fighters in the past. Cormier praised Jones' intelligence in the octagon and his mental and fight IQ, stating that these qualities have contributed to Jones' longevity in the sport. He thinks that Jones' ability to process and analyze a fight is better than most, which has helped him stay at the top of his game for so long. Recently, Joe Rogan expressed his thoughts on why he considered Jon Jones to be the greatest of all time, GOAT. Rogan pointed out that Jones' ability to take risks and his wild nature sets him apart from others. He stated that Jones' willingness to open a fight with a flying knee against Shogun at a young age and in a championship match demonstrates his wildness. According to Rogan, it's not just being a normal person that makes someone the GOAT, but it's the willingness to take risks and embrace a wild nature that sets the greatest apart from the rest. Henry Cejudo, a retired mixed martial artist, has been assisting Jon in preparing for a fight against Ciryl Gane in the UFC. He recently expressed his thoughts on Gane being one of the biggest threats to Jones in the UFC. Cejudo appreciates the dedication Gane has put into training his body and notes that while Gane may play possum in fights, he is a real deal who poses a threat to everyone in the UFC. Cejudo even went as far as texting Jon to warn him to be cautious and plan well against Gane, as he is a formidable opponent. Cejudo believes that Gane could be an even bigger threat than Francis or Jon. Armin Tsarukyan also spoke about Jon Jones' remarkable achievement of becoming a champion in the UFC at a young age. However, Armin thinks that it's not possible to do that in today's UFC. According to Armin, the competition has become much higher, and fighters tend to mature later in their 20s or early 21s. As a result, Armin believes that it's almost impossible for an MMA fighter to become a UFC champion at a young age like Jon did. Armin states that Jon's achievement of becoming a champion at the age of 23 is a rare exception, and it seems that it's now impossible for someone to repeat this feat. Mike Bond has confirmed the number of fights Jon Jones has committed to as part of his contract with the UFC. He made this announcement via a tweet and was backed up by Dana White, who confirmed that Jones has signed a new 8-fight agreement with the UFC. Ariel Helwani also commented on the upcoming match and confirmed that Jon Jones' next fight is definitely happening. He expressed some negative emotions regarding the situation, though the exact reason for his feeling bad is unclear. A T-Mobile employee leaked information about a potential upcoming fight involving Jon Jones. Initially, Jon Jones was set to fight on December 10th, but plans changed when the organizers wanted to wait and see if a deal with Francis could be reached for a March 4th fight. However, as the deal with Francis is not yet finalized, it seems that the fight may move forward with Jon Jones facing the French fighter Ciryl Gane. This fight is the frontrunner, and if it happens on March 4th, it would be for the vacant title. The possibility of stripping Francis and Gane of the belt and making the fight for the vacant title is currently being considered. Although not 100% confirmed, there is a good chance that this fight will be announced as early as tonight. This new development indicates that Jon Jones is likely to return soon and make his heavyweight debut, which is an ongoing and developing story. Dana confirmed that there had been a mix-up. He stated that the company had offered a deal to Francis for the official heavyweight title, which would have made him the highest-paid heavyweight in the company's history, surpassing Lesnar and others. However, Francis declined the offer. As a result, the company will release Francis from his contract and give up the right to match. Francis can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants. Dana believes that Francis is currently in a place where he does not want to take risks and feels that he can earn more money by fighting against lesser opponents. He also noted that Francis weighs over 300 pounds, recently had knee surgery, and hasn't had a proper training camp, which may be contributing to his decision. Dana pointed out that this type of situation has happened before with other fighters who have come to the company and said they no longer want to compete at such a high level. The UFC 285 card promises to be thrilling, and the addition of Jon Jones as the main event just makes it even more exciting. Thanks for watching this episode of Fighters React to Jon Jones returning to the UFC as a heavyweight. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our latest content. Leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on Jon Jones' return to the UFC as a heavyweight. We'll be back soon with more exciting content, so stay tuned.